Why peace is possible. Let me tell you, this was a talk. Aquella Shirils, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Fantastic man. I want to say South Central Los Angeles. I can't remember if it was Watts or Compton or Inglewood. Forgive me, Aquellas or Aquella. Um, he got on stage, second day, I believe, third day, and he was actually one of the main people that brokered the peace talks between the Bloods and the Crips, the rival gangs in Los Angeles. They still very much exist, as well as many offshoots and similar gangs. But when I was a kid, and this would have been he and I are probably the same age, so this would have been around the time I was in high school. We're talking 1991, 1992, 93 in that era. We're talking the the Rodney King meeting. We're talking about the LA riots, which, and my dad lives in Los Angeles. So, you know, some of those things I saw in person. And for this young man at the time, I don't even know if he was a man. He might have been 16, 17. He's one of the people that was able to broker this peace treaty between them. And yes, there's been gang issues for what's that, the past 30 plus years, but not, as far as I can tell, at like that was a peak moment in peace, particularly for African American communities. And there was enough stuff, and still is enough stuff going on that we need to deal with, like a lot of minority communities, figuring out what's what. His TED talk was talking about how it occurred, the work that he was doing now, specifically with crime survivors for safety and justice, as well as, of course, getting on stages like 10, and how violence, he chose a path of peace, and violence still found him. And seeing him on stage with his loss, and that reaffirming his need for peace was incredible. Um, he was crying a little bit on stage, respectfully. Um, I was bawling in the audience, and I don't mean disco bawling. I was crying like a baby, um, because what he was saying was so eloquent and so brave. Again, it's one thing to scope it out a little bit. It's one thing to say you should turn the other cheek. It's one thing to say, oh, okay, things are hard, but you can get through it. It's one thing even to make it relevant to a lot of y'all that might not have been through those kind of things. It's 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 easy to say, oh, okay, well, I wasn't sure if my startup was going to get was going to come together, but I just kept pushing, and suddenly it came together. It's one thing to say that. It's another thing when you actually experience that, and then you give, as they say, your testimony to being able to get through that. The reason why I'm confident having this show and sharing this with y'all is because I had two startups while being a stay at home dad with my first son, while my partner at the time was at work. And so, and then having success with that. So I've been through the fire. So that's why I can confidently say, you can go through the fire too. You're going to be okay. That hits different when it comes from someone who's been through that. I can tell that Aquel has been through a lot. And so the intensity of his talk, um, I was not the only one crying in the audience, especially when he started crying. Everybody lost it. Um, but the bottom line here is that it was this beautiful reminder. We have Gaza, we have Ukraine, we got chaos here in the States. It's a lot going on. But it was nice to have that reminder where it's like some type of peace is still possible. But that peace has to begin on a local level. And that there's some great activists. I see y'all, some great activists that I end up meeting from all over the country, all over the world. Some of them I had dinner with, some of them and having a drink and then talk for 2 hours. Like great conversations, which is what TED is a great fodder for. The talks are kind of the what spur the conversations in between. And it all comes down to um, politics are personal, and personal is local. So even just hearing Aquella as well as some great conversation with other folks, I actually started emailing and checking out my volunteering that I can do here in Las Vegas because it comes down to us. Yes, there's people in charge that we, depending on your affiliation, may not want in charge. There's political stuff that's outside of our control. There might be only so much money that can come in, only so much money that you're able to give out. But how you operate day to day, you have complete freaking control over that. 5,000%. How you react, how you respond, how you show up. You have control over that. Aquala's talk got into that. I'm hoping, I'm hoping that it goes public. If not, go to TED.com, get the pass. Just for his talk alone, you'll probably be a puddle in your seat like I was too. If you want to experience some of the TED Talks, feel free to check out mine. I have one TED Talk on the second stage of the main TED back when they used to have second stage. I told you it was a while ago. Super short talk, about 4 minutes long. And then I have three TEDx's that I did, two TEDx's for TEDx Toledo, and one, as I mentioned, for TEDx Jackson. They're all available on my channel as well as at TED.com. Just click the playlist right there. Each one is like my first TED talk was like 3 minutes long. So if you want to get a flavor as far as what a TED talk is and you want a familiar face, you'll get an idea as far as what the TED experience is. What about y'all? How are you feeling motivated um, to make an impact in the world right now? Or do you feel like you can make an impact? I guess I should start with that. Um, in If you don't think peace is possible in the world right now, what wars are you waging right now? What wars are you a part of right now, proverbially or otherwise, that you contribute to solving? Food for thought. Sometimes the biggest war is with ourselves. I know that battle well, my guys. I know that battle well. I'm Damon Brown, entrepreneurial coach, here to help you as a side hustler, solopreneur, otherwise a non-traditional entrepreneur. You're watching Bring It Worth TV, live Wednesdays at 1:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Vegas time.